Okay, I'm going to talk today, if I can get this good. I'm going to talk today about semen retention because this is a topic that a lot of people seem to resonate with on this channel and something that's been a very important part of my life. And the title of this video is Semen Retention Did Not Fix My Life, but it did fix this. And let me break this down. And I'm going to rant and I'm going to do my thing. If this is too long for you, you can click off because I'm just going to go. This is what flows and is what is authentic to me. When I started the semen retention journey at 21, so that was almost 10 years ago, I'm 30 now, I got made fun of because I was telling people that what I was doing. I said, hey guys, I don't think watching porn and jacking off is good. And at that time, I wasn't into my faith, and I was a bit estranged from God, if you will. And so I didn't really attribute it to that, but more so just the fact that I said, this is weird. This is wrong, and it's giving me a lot of anxiety, a lot of like sexual and performance anxiety in person with actual women, because I'd watch these videos and do the PMO thing, and the job's done. By all intents and purposes, my job's done. And then when I met real women, that's not how it went. There was this whole vast array of emotions and experiences that would happen, and I was petrified. And so the semen retention journey was my attempt to figure out a different route, to quell the anxiety in my head over relationships and dynamics with women. And I was very reliant at the time on pickup artist stuff. I was reading all the pickup artist books and the vlogs and the courses, and I was really into that world. The thing was, I never really acted on it. And that was kind of the odd part, is like I ended up like mentally masturbating over these pickup techniques to attract and get with women because I didn't feel confident in myself without the PMO, without the porn, masturbation, all that stuff. I didn't know how to do this, right? And so I started and stopped on my retention journey. And when people say they're on NoFap, right? And they'll often say, oh, NoFap superpowers. And I've said this in past videos, but there are no superpowers. So this is not it's not like you're Super Saiyan, you enter Super Saiyan mode, and this is who I am now until I fall off again. That's not how it works. You have to imagine that you already are a Super Saiyan. If we're going to use that analogy, right? Like, you've never not been a Super Saiyan. What you've done is been taking this poison that's turned off your ability to access being a Super Saiyan. So when you remove the poison, you remove the porn, and you start retaining, your light starts to come back to you. And so it's not a matter of like, I did NoFap and now my life's easy. Because you still feel fear. You still struggle with, you may still struggle with relationships and challenges in life and work, but like that's the point. Like you don't do NoFap and then everything's easy. It's you do NoFap and you realize and you can feel that things are hard, but as a man, your duty and responsibility is to do them anyway. You know, I've been talking to one of my friends about this, and he's been falling short on some things. And he's like, I know I should, like, he didn't text me back about something, and he said, oh, I know that was disrespectful. I'm like, okay, if you know that was disrespectful, why did you do it? He's like, I don't know. I'm like, well, your inability to face these things is what's creating problems. It's not like the thing itself, the act itself, it's the inability to face these things. And what happens is when you're fapping all the time and you're watching porn and doing PMO, you are essentially like ejecting the game. You're like, I'm not gonna play it. Nope. And that's how I did it. I was using it as an escape. I didn't feel a good way. I was using it as an escape. And what's interesting is when I stopped, every time I've stopped, especially the porn, I've had this craving for dopamine. And so I will find myself watching movies a lot, playing video games. And I know now that it's just my brain is really dependent on that dopamine. And that's what it's craving. So anyway, I digress here. What semen retention did fix for me was it made me more familiar with who I actually am, like who my actual essence is as a man, as a person, as a human being. I was able to feel my emotions. I was able to feel more confident. And if you pair this with self-reflection, and now that we have AI, what I've often done is used AI as a therapist, as a soundboard, as a way to mirror things. Reading books, taking notes in my journal, talking to AI, and maybe some people think that's a bad idea. It's never told me to do something dangerous. It's just acting as a mirror for me to collect my thoughts and make sense of them. Using it as a tool, not a end-all be-all. I've been able to really work through a lot of things. And in this past year alone, I've had tremendous growth. And this past year, 6 months of that year was on semen retention. I started semen retention back in May and did 6 months until just last month. And now I'm back on it again. And that's the thing too, right? Is people think that if you fall off or you fail, I've seen it in the comments, that it's like game over. Oh my God, everything's horrible. No, you just got to pick yourself back up and go again. And I also want to clarify something too. You get to define what this means for you, semen retention. Like you get to choose what your relationship with it is. And one thing I would urge you to do, and I saw this thumbnail, I haven't watched the video yet from Beyond the Alchemy, where he says, don't tell people you're doing semen retention. And I think it's wise advice. Without having seen the video, just reading the title of the video, keep it to yourself. Because one, people are not going to understand what's going on. They might make fun of you or judge you. I have a buddy now who he sends me AI like t-shirt designs of like retain, and they're like, it's kind of cool, but at the same time, this reminds me of the biblical story of Samson and Delilah, right? And how eventually he told Delilah the secret to his strength, and he was taken advantage of it. He was taken advantage of for that. So it may be best to walk through life with that light of semen retention and to let people feel that presence without necessarily telling them like what it is. You don't have to. I used to talk about it all the time, and I'm talking about it now with you because this is meant to help and educate. So to kind of round it up, semen retention didn't fix my life. It just made me aware of the problems and reset my default settings in my person to then handle them and take responsibility for them. Because our duty as men is to do that, is to have a duty, is to create a sense of purpose with whatever that is and work towards it while also experiencing the full capacity of love. And really, in the way of the spirit man, David Data says, how you fuck your woman is how you fuck the world, right? And that doesn't mean like, I fuck the world. No, it means like how you penetrate your woman is how you penetrate your world. And really moving from a depth of purpose and having that intentionality behind it. And I'm currently working through my relationship to sex and all these things because this is not something you're really taught, at least that I wasn't. And so learning about it and developing my own relationship with it has been really empowering. And so when you're on semen retention, you have this ability because you don't, being celibate and practicing semen retention is essentially saying like, I don't need this. And I'm going to retain and refrain from PMO to pursue this other route, the middle way. And the middle way in Buddhism is the Noble Eight Paths, is the road to enlightenment in the Buddhist philosophy. I'm going to be paraphrasing. I'm not totally familiar. But when you choose this middle way, you learn different things that other people you can't understand because they're not on the same road. And so if you are curious or you have fallen off and you want to get back on, like, do it. There's literally nothing to lose and only everything to gain from this experience. And so if you want to improve your relationship with others and yourself, it's not a be-all end-all. You have to do the work, but it will help show you the way. So I hope this has been helpful, and I'll see you in the next video.